So you want to know about Kenshi? Pfft, no problem. Kenshi is a game which blends RTS and RPG elements, taking place in a vibrant world full of colorful biomes and denizens. In Kenshi, you manage your resources, build bases, command armies, and control powerful heroes. You can experience the game playing as one of the 4 core races: the traditional humans, the powerful orcs, the collectivist elves, and the enigmatic undead. The first thing you're going to want to do when you start playing is to stop playing and download a graphics enhancement from the Steam Workshop. That's better. Now, in order to achieve the most canonical experience as God intended it, set up your game by disabling all this nonsense. Hunger? Who's got time for that? Since this is our first time, we're gonna play as humans. Remember, wide jaw means more physical damage. Our first stop will be the hub, the economic powerhouse of the game located at the intersection of trade routes. But before we can begin our adventure, we gotta get buff. To achieve this, we're gonna join a gym called the Rebel Base. First, you're gonna leave the hub and travel to the gym. Talk to the gym leader about joining his gym and make sure you lower your voice so he doesn't think you're a wuss. Once you have permission to use his equipment, you can take a little walk south and get to work. This is a dog-friendly gym, but the dogs can get a little too enthusiastic. The great thing about this gym is that you can get copper ore for using the equipment, which is basically gold in Kenshi. You can bring the ore back to the gym leader and he'll give you tokens for working out so hard. You can spend gym tokens on snacks and magazines. Make sure you run in circles around the equipment with a full inventory to maximize your gains. Once you're buff, it's time to start training for combat. Weapons are for weaklings and henchmen, so we're gonna go hand to hand only. Go for a walk until you find some of your neighbors out for a stroll, and fucking give it to them. Only barbarians finish off their sparring partners, so make sure you leave them alone after you dominate them.
For Lord!
We both know that you're not going to be able to punch your way to the top though. We're going to need a base of operations. Luckily for you, the hub is brimming with prime real estate. Twice as lucky is the fact that the hub accepts gym tokens for houses. Nutty! Save up your tokens and invest in your very own state-of-the-art hideout. Don't worry about repairs, just keep working out until you can afford the materials to slap that sucker back together. Shipshape in no time. What's that I hear you saying? You're not satisfied with the selection of devilish interior decor? Well, don't you worry, because the next step is research. I don't know if you've been to the same schools I have, but it's a well-known fact that schools are a scam. So instead of going to the Hub Junior High, we're gonna start our own school. I called mine the Hubiversity. Just set up some desks and lecture to your heart's content. After a while, you'll have so much money you can just buy the decor you want. What's that? Randall's been caught cheating on a test? Time for you to take a trip to the detention zone. You really messed up this time, Randall. Now you're gonna have to pay off your tuition with slave labor. As soon as I figure out how to do that. So man, I got this guy knocked out. How do I turn him into a slave?
Oh no, you can't do that in this game.
What the fuck?
Just gotta get another mod from the workshop.
God damn it!
Unfortunately, the Hubiversity's closed down after rumor got out about us selling our students as slaves for extra cash. Now we're just going to have to find some new teammates the good old-fashioned way. All you've got to do is find some normies minding their own business and put those martial arts skills we refined earlier to good use. Sort out the weak ones who haven't managed to keep their limbs on. That's a sign of poor constitution. Mind over matter, man. Once you've assembled a crack team of kidnapped vagrants and elderly farmers, it's time to mobilize the task force. Every faction needs a base of operations, and now that the police have shut down the Hubiversity, we're gonna have to make our own way in the world. When choosing a strategic location, make sure you're near resources so that you can sustain your operations without having to bore yourself to death doing food runs. Speaking of boredom, your slaves are bound to be getting pretty bored by now, so make sure you find some work for them. They're particularly fond of mining. Putting a house together is as easy as 1, 2, 3, and makes a great family bonding exercise. Keep an eye on Randall. You know he likes to eat the building materials. Once your hideout is assembled, you've officially got your very own place to stand around in. Make sure to distribute your sentries for maximum cinematic potential. Owning your very own swamp palace makes you a verified heir to the old empire. And what better way to establish your right to rule than by terrorizing the locals? It's possible that the local populace will attempt to overthrow you, but by now your crew will be kung fu masters. Make sure you've got no weapons equipped when your base is attacked by the rebels, or else your martial arts focused henchmen are gonna fumble around with katanas like a greasy Gordon Ramsay trying to fillet an eel with a stick of butter.
Fucked up dinner.
With our hard-earned reputation as overlords, it's only a matter of time before the Holy Roman Empire shows up to tell us the good news. But don't worry, I know how to talk to these guys. They love me. It's possible that negotiations didn't go as well as I had planned. I may have accidentally signed up for their holistic yoga classes. If you end up in the same situation, don't panic. Yoga isn't that hard. Once they show up in their yoga gear to give your community some new age exercise tips, break their faces cage match style. I always wanted to know which one was better for MMA, Kung Fu or yoga. I guess now we know. Don't worry, little dude, do some yoga stretches, you'll feel better. They're probably going to want their yoga mats back, and you probably don't want to deal with any more solicitations. The best approach to deterring their salesmen is to ask to be put on the National Do Not Call list. You're going to want to speak with a supervisor for that, so let's pay them a visit. Of course, they're going to want to ask what you're paying with your current internet provider, so make sure you answer with interpretive fist dancing so that there's no misunderstanding. It's important to be firm with telemarketers, especially when you're in their office kicking the shit out of them. Well, there you have it, folks. I've shown you the ropes. We learned how to build a gang, grow crops, harvest water from the Mother Earth, and join multiplayer games. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.